Here is how to create a high quality gradient mesh in Canva. My name is Onoho UI and welcome to DWC Academy. Here we are in our Canva artboard and we're going to achieve this in 4 steps. Step 1 will be drawing your flows with the Draw app. And we have named this page. Don't forget to subscribe. That will be very helpful for our channel. So step 1, we have to draw the flows with the Draw app. I'm going to create a new page here. I change the color of that page to complete. I change it to white. And then I would go over here. You can find the Draw app. You can see it here. So I'll click on that. And we have different pencils or markers that we can use here. This is an eraser. This is more like a watercolor, water marker, okay, like an highlighter, and that's what it's called. This is a marker, and then this is absolutely, this is definitely going to be a pen. Okay, now we're going to be using the marker and not the highlighter, but you can use this in different ways that you want. And what we're going to do is creating our flow. Now to create our flow, I'm going to select this. And I'm going to change the color of this to a type of color that I want to use, not pink. I want to use something around here. It's like a hot pink. So let's use that there. Remember, you can always copy this code to maintain the same hue. Now that we have that, I'll go over here and I want to make sure that the white is 100. And the transparency is also set to 100. I do not want it to be faded or lock transparency. It just has to be 100. Now that we have that, I'm going to draw my first portion, which is going to be something like this. Remember, you can draw anything you want, but this is just what I want to draw. Then I can draw another one this way. I'm still using the same color for this, so. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And then I'm going to do the same thing here as well. And maybe another one here. Now we have this. The next thing I'm going to do is change the color. Using the same marker, I would choose another color. And right here, I want something around this. So I'm going to be using something around purple. And what I'm going to do is just fill up all the white spaces. Like so. Just fill it up. I'm taking my time to do this. So you can decide to draw the patterns you want to use first. And now I'm going to change the color again. I would use a different hue from this. So something around this. And that's what I would use to make this one here. And then I would change it to a different hue as well. And use that to draw this part. Then repeat the same thing over and over until I am satisfied with what I have. Okay, now change the other one to, I want it to be around here. Around there, so it's similar to the other one we've used, but because I want to repeat this pattern on that. So here we have it. Now the next thing we want to do is fill up this other part. That's the last part to fill. And I'm also going to change this to around red. I'll change this to a little bit of white here. Great. Now that we have that, I'm going to start pushing them backwards. So you can select it, go to position and choose back. So this way it just goes back. Right, I can select this one as well and send it to back. Maybe this one as well, send it to back entirely. And this one, I would send that to back as well. Okay, no, not back. And then I would change this one. I'm going to change the color for that to a different color entirely. So let's give it blue around there. And this one here, we can also give it a different color. Yes, so we can give it a different color right there. Something quite... Let's change this to make it a little bit whiter. All right, so here we have this, and I'm okay with this. Now we're done with our first step, which is actually drawing our flows of how we want this to be. And this is going to take us to the next step, which is we're going to export what we've created and import it. But there is an easier way to do that using Canva. I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down because we are step number 2 right now. And then right here, I'm going to select everything here, or you can just leave it and go over to share and go to copy clipboard, select page, and we're choosing page 4. And we copy that and just wait for it to populate that. Now it's copied. Just to confirm that, we create another page here and we're going to paste that. Remember, it's just in your clipboard and you want to paste it. The next thing you want to make sure is that you fill this with the background. Don't do this. Don't set as image background. Just increase it to fill that entire space so that when you are copying, it would not copy the background of that, because right now you don't have the option to choose what you want to copy and how you want the copy to be, maybe with transparent background or not. It just copies everything as a clipboard. And now that we have this, I'm going to flip it this way and maybe this way. So this is how I'm going to flip it. And then remember, I still have it copied in my clipboard, so I would just paste it. Okay, one thing you need to know is whatever you copy in your clipboard automatically adds that into your uploads. So just copy this, and here we can have that. So what I want to do is flip it this way to get exactly this. All right, so here is what we have. And I'm going to show you that right now. So I told you whatever you copy from clipboard using this button here in Canva automatically adds that to your uploads. So here you can see them here in your uploads. Now we have this too. What we're going to do is copy both. So go over to share again, copy to clipboard. Once you've copied to clipboard, make sure you're choosing page that you're on, and then you copy. It will just do the normal thing. Wanted to download that, and then success, copy to clipboard just to be sure. Now what I'm going to do here is delete these two because I already have them on my upload. So I'll just paste the new one right there. Remember, it's the new one. Now I'm also going to just put everything this way. Great. The next step is to add our effects. Then I'm going to go to edit image, go to blur, whole image, increase that. And then we have this. Awesome. Then we can just go back again. Now you can see that we do have this. I'm going to copy this again. To clipboard. Just wait for it to do that, copy it just to be sure. Now this is going to take us to the effect that we're going to be adding next. So what we're doing in step 2, so what we're doing in step 2 is to continue to make this as blurry as possible. You can just continue to do this until you are satisfied with what you have already. So I'm going to just do that one more time. And I'm just going to add that. You can see the changes there. So I'm just going to add that again. And then we are actually done with step 2. Then we're going to move to step 3, which is using Magic Studio to actually edit this as we want. And it's just the effect part of it. So I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to duplicate this for our step 3. So I'll select this, go to edit image here. On the effects, go to adjust. And here I can actually start working on this. So I'm just going to work with the temperature a little bit. You can edit this as you want. And you can just play with this a little bit. So I want this around the 8. And I want it to be just a little bit bright. Not too bright. 5 is okay for me. And for contrast, I want to increase the contrast as well. And I'm going to use 20 for that. And for my highlights, I would not touch my highlight for now. Let me see. The shadows, I would leave it at 0. And then I go over to vibrance. And here is where I just want to increase the vibrance a little bit. And also I'm going to just touch the saturation a little. Next, I would want to touch the sharpness and also the clarity a little bit. Yes, so this is quite interesting. I like how this is. Now let's make our gradient actually a gradient. Our next step is going to require us to add some effect to really make this interesting, and that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to just duplicate this, bring it down, so you can see our step 4 is add effects from this Canva effect tab, similar to what we've done. So we'll go over to effect after selecting this image or highlighting this image, selecting it, and then you're going to go to liquify. We can choose any of them. We can try them. The melt, we'll just melt this for us. We can also decide to choose the wobble, can decide to choose a flow, or the smudge, or the smear. It depends on what we want. But for this case, I just want to use the melt. And then here we can add a melt amount. Okay, we can add it a scale. Okay, we can add that as scale. We can also add the wobble amount. We can remove the melt amount entirely because I do not want that. And then we can just smear it a little. And let's say wobble scale. I want it something like this. Will be really cool. All right, now we're done. We just go to save. We've saved that. So we can go back to edit image. There is no back button here, so you have to just go back to edit image again. And then here we're going to choose, here we are going to choose bad TV. Here we have different options here. So we can choose the retro, we can choose the tube, wrap, fuzz. Let's try the fuzz. Here you can see what the fuzz is giving. And then what we're going to do is you can actually add the thickness for this way. Okay. Then distort, you can find distort. Okay. And you can also fix this, the static as well. This is what the static would do. Just want to reduce that a little. And then you could the scale scan lines, you can remove that as well, but I'm just going to leave them around the middle. Just totally fine. it's just around here because it's just bad TV, right? So you can see how you can add these ones, remove them entirely. You can play with the positions as well. Okay, so that's what you get when you're using the fast. You can use a retro and you can see what that is giving to you. You can also distort that a little, you can change the positioning, can just play around with that. But you can see that we're getting the noise around that. You can see that. So if we take these static entirely to top, we can just reduce this. So let's just be quick with this. Here will be fine. Find the distort. This will be okay. Then this will be fine. Now, when you're done, click on save. Just go to edit here. And we can go to adjust just to make this look fine. Here we can just change this, the temperature, and then we can actually change what we can change here will be the highlight, just a little bit, and also the shadows for that. Then we can, the vibrance as well, just reduce that a little bit to say -20. And then we can just leave the saturation the way it is. And here we can actually increase the sharpness to say 30. And we have this here. I'm removing the clarity because I don't want it to be so bad. Here we have this, just remove it entirely. And then for this, for the green, we have to just reduce that a little bit and make it, just make it good. So this is fine. And we can just play around with the hue. So this is good. And then we can just blend it out with this as well. Okay, now we can increase the saturation. This time around, just reduce it a little bit. Let's go to 40. Great. And then we can just make it bright. Now that is good. And then that is okay for what we have to do here. So we're good. The next thing you might want to do will be increasing this. This way. And then you might want to flip it this way. Then you can add your text. We're going to use just a text from here, a template from here. And we can put that here. Please subscribe. We encrypt it and remove this one. Here we have our text. If we put it on white, it's really awesome. But then we can just switch it up a little. And we can just play with this. Right, there we have it. As please subscribe. And we just add our brand here. And we're good to go. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video.